Hi, Assalamualaikum. So today I'm going to talk about the first part of the lab 8 for the blinking LED. So here we put sensor pin as A2 for the analog, and then we put LED pin as 9, and then sensor value is equals to 0. This one is for the potentiometer. So here we put the LED pin as output pin mode, and then we put serial begins 9600 is for the serial monitor. So in void loop, we put sensor value is equals to analog reads, which will read the sensor pin at A2, and then serial print in sensor value is to print out the sensor value at the serial monitor. So in this loop, the LED will turn on when the digital write LED pin is high, and then it will turn off when the LED pin is low. So the delay is the length of the delay is determined by the sensor value. So in this loop, the LED will always turn on and off, but the blinking speed will vary according to the sensor value of the potentiometer. So if the resistor of the potentiometer is high, then the delay will be longer and the blinking will be slower. If the potentiometer resistor value is low, then the blinking will be high because the delay is slower, which means that the blinking will be faster. So the sensor doesn't determine the doesn't turn on or turn off the LED, but it will determine the blinking rate of the LED. That is all.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Haziq, and in this part I will be showing you guys about the switching threshold as well as the fading. So before we start with anything, we are going to have to go for a bit of a recap. What does threshold means? So threshold means that it is the minimum amount of value needed to activate something, which in this case we are using the LED pin. So as you can see, the amount of threshold we've used is 512, and to allow the LED pin to turn on, we are going to ensure that the amount of voltage supplied is more than the threshold. So as you can see, if analog read sensor pin is more than the threshold, the LED will turn on, LED pin high, and it will going to be the other way around. So if the amount of voltage does not exceed the amount of threshold, it won't turn on. So as you can see over here, if analog read sensor pin is more than threshold, digital write LED pin high, and then else LED pin low. So it's just a simple explanation, and the results for this laboratory will be shown right after this. So we are moving on to the next part, which is fading. This one is a bit similar to lab 7, which we could use to control the brightness of the LED by using two buttons. So in this case, we are just going to control the brightness of the LED by using the potentiometer. So the codings is very straightforward, as you can see here, and the results for this lab will be right after this. So it's going to be the end of my part. So please stay tuned for another part towards the end of the video. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
Alright, Assalamualaikum. I will continue to the last part of the lab, which is from the make it better. The last part is the potentiometer will control the servo motor. The codes are used from the example of the Arduino libraries. Firstly, we need to include the servo.h. Then we will need to define my servo or any name as the servo to control the servo motor. Next, we will need to define the name port pin to create and use the analog pin A2 to connect to the potentiometer. After that, we will need to initialize the valve to read the value of analog from the potentiometer. So for the void setup, we need to attach the servo motor to the pin 9 by using my servo.attach pin 9. At the pin 9 there has a PWM function. Next, at the void loop, here is valve. It will read the analog reading from the potentiometer from the analog pin 2, then will be stored in the valve. Then this map is to mapping the value of the analog read. Starting from 0, it will map to the 0 degrees until 1023, it will map to 180 degrees. So the increasing of the mapping of the analog read will be mapped to the degree of the rotation for the servo motor. Then the mapping value will be stored to the valve. Next, my servo.write, which is to set the servo position according to the potentiometer mapping. Next, there will be delay 15. So the result will be displayed after this. Thank you.